guys, Jamie Cage here today, and I have a very interesting video for you. And I know I haven't uploaded in 3 months or so, but I was trying to find time to upload, and school, everything came, and my relationship didn't make social life. But yeah, the biggest story ever just got put out about half an hour ago. Mauricio Pochettino has just been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur. That's right, he's been sacked. It says here on Sky Sports, Mauricio Pochettino dismissed Tottenham after a dismal start to the new season. Jose Mourinho is the early favourite to replace Pochettino. Jamie Carragher describes sacked as out of order, which kind of is. He's been to a Champions League final just 6 months ago. I know he hasn't really shown that they're still at that level, but there has been a lot of things going on behind the scenes with Vertonghen and Eriksen, the whole thing a few months ago. But Mauricio Pochettino has been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur after 5 years in charge of the club. Pochettino led Spurs to top 4 finishes in 4 of his 5 seasons in charge, as well as their first Champions League final in history in the 18-19 campaign. Yeah, that's true. I think his first season in charge, he brought them to 5th, and then it was I think they went 3rd, 4th, 2nd, and then 4th. I think they came last year, and with a Champions League final last year. So they got they didn't have to go through any qualification rounds this year and all that. But yeah, and then it says, however, Tottenham have just won 5 matches this season, and Chairman Daniel Levy said the change had to be made in the club's best interests. To be fair, they're 14th in the league at the moment, and it's November, which isn't good for a top 6 club. I know it's early on in the season, and a season could just turn around just like that. But they're top 6 club, Champions League finalists. They've only won, as it says here, 5 matches. They're 14th. They're only a few points off relegation, I believe. And at this stage of the season, when it's come to December, January, it's very hard to turn all that around, because it gets into the business end of the season. But Tottenham enjoyed a hugely successful European campaign last year with a terrific win over Manchester City and Ajax in the knockout stages, earned them a place in the final where they were beaten 2-0 by Liverpool. Tottenham just goes on about their next fixtures. After that defeat, Pochettino Spurs faced a painful, in quotation marks, rebuild with several senior players reaching their last year at their contracts, which I'd say that's down to the board, because Pochettino can offer the contract, but I think it's the board that has to offer Pochettino the chance to give them the contract, if you get what I'm saying. I might be wrong here, but I know that was the case with Arsenal a few years ago with Arsene Wenger. He's been given players contracts, but some other players like Sanchez, Ozil weren't getting their run down their contracts, but Wenger was saying he wanted to give them contracts, and it was all to do with the board and stuff. Don't know how true that was, but yeah. Where was I? But he has been forced to rely on several players who deals expire at the end of the season after the clubs endured another quiet summer in the transfer market. That's very true. Last year bought nobody, which is never good, but it was good for them last year. But then I know their team was good, but you always had to rebuild. Like Liverpool, we didn't buy anyone last year, but we bought young talent for the future. You always had to think forward in football. But Pochettino and Tottenham, they bought Ndombele, they let Kieran Trippier goal. I think Ndombele might have been their only signing, I think. But yeah, their domestic form has been poor for most of 2019, and since a 3-1 loss over Leicester in February, on February 10th, Spurs have just 6 of their 24 Premier League matches. They've won 6 of the last 24 Premier League matches. Like, that's very, very poor. Very poor. 6 from January. This has gone from January, so since start 2019, they've only won 6 matches of the league. And then it goes on and says they're currently 14th in the table, which we already said. They were knocked out in the Carabao Cup by Colchester, which I believe they're in League 2. Pochettino's staff, Jesus Perez, Miguel de Osco, and Antonio Jimenez have also left the club alongside him. So like all his assistants, they all left. In a statement released by Tottenham on Tuesday evening, which is this evening, this is all new. This only got brought out about an hour ago. Levy said, "We were extremely reluctant to make this decision, and it is not a decision the board has taken lightly or enhanced. Regardlessly, the domestic results at the end of the season and beginning of the season have been extremely disappointing. The falls of the board to make difficult decisions. This one made more so given the many memorable moments we had with Mauricio and this coaching staff, but we do so in the club's best interests. Mauricio and his coaching staff will always be part of our history and have the utmost admiration for the manner in which he dealt with the difficult times. Away from a home ground whilst we built the new stadium, and for the warmth and positivity he brought us. I should like to thank him for his coaching staff for all they've contributed. They will always be welcome here. We have a talented squad, and we need to re-energise and look to deliver a positive season for our supporters. Then it goes on about Pochettino's reaction, but that's a video, so I can't really show that. Because if I even put it up on the screen, it'll probably just get my video will probably just get flagged. Then it goes on about what Harry Redknapp said, what Jamie Carragher said. Harry Redknapp said, when people talk about the players all loving them, if they love him that much, maybe they should have all started playing a bit better. And that's next page of mine, so you can tell Harry's mad. They've got this. They've gotten the sack, and at the end of the day, they haven't performed well. That's why he's lost his job. If they all loved him so much, perhaps they should have done a bit better for him, which is very true. If take a look at what Rodgers, for Liverpool, since I'm a Liverpool fan, I know more about it. Take a look at when Rodgers was managing Liverpool to Klopp now. Klopp has completely transformed the squad. It's a brand new squad from 2015. But once he came in, you could see the positivity in the squad, because the players were falling out with Brendan Rodgers back in 2015. Balotelli was one that was always on the news with Rodgers then having disagreements. Gerrard had a disagreement with him the year before that as well. apparently he's the reason why Gerrard left the club that year. Gerrard wanted to retire in Liverpool. But yeah, Carragher says, it's all, before I get into that, it's all literally to do with how positive and how determined the manager is. Pochettino, really good manager. He changed Spurs, but you could see that the players weren't really backing him. Like, him and the players, they had a very good relationship, but it wasn't good enough to win silverware. They have, out in those 5 years, they came very close, but couldn't get it. And Sky pundit Jamie Carragher said, it's a massive shock. The job he has done for us is miraculous. I deserve to see him at least see out the season. I'm shocked. It is a second. When I heard the news, I thought it may have been mutual agreement. That's what I thought as well. I thought, from the way I see it on 90 Minute Mail first on Facebook, so I was like, oh, maybe it's not true, maybe it's just a rumour, or maybe he stepped down. But no, I read it and they just sacked him. But the fact the fact that he has been sacked, it's strange and a bit out of order. What really considering the job he's done. Sorry if I'm not reading it right, guys. Since I have the flash on my phone, so better lighting. It's like coming to my eyes and it's like blurring all over the screen, so don't mind that. I'm trying to do as best I could. Who could have replaced Pochettino? As I said, Jose Mourinho is the favourite. And that's actually all who they've listed here. They said Jose Mourinho has been installed as the early favourite to replace Pochettino, and Sky Sports News has been told that he is a serious contender to become a new Tottenham manager. The three-time Premier League winner has been out of work since December 2018 when he was sacked by Manchester United. He still lives in London and is understood to being taken. It's understood to be keen to return to English football. He was rumoured to go to Bayern Munich last week, and Bayern Munich sacked their manager. But now I seen the thing, and apparently Pochettino himself is rumoured to be managing Bayern in the next coming weeks. It says one man who is unlikely to replace Pochettino is, this is another guy, he's very unlikely apparently, is Julian Nagelsmann. The 32-year-old only joined RB Leipzig this summer and 32, that's very young for a manager. But yeah, he only joined RB Leipzig in the summer, and the Bundesliga side are believed to be unwilling to allow him to leave after waiting a year to sign him from Hoffenheim. So yeah, that's everything. So that's everything by the looks of it. But what do you guys think? Should he have got the sack? Should he have not? I'll leave a poll up. Who do you think will replace him? Would you say Arsene Wenger will make that shock move? I think Arsene Wenger is part of FIFA now. Would you say Mourinho will get him? Will get the job? Or would you say it would be someone else? Would you say it would be Jose Enrique? Would you say, shockingly, Barca could end up sacking Valverde and Tottenham could get Valverde? You never know. Could Pep make a shock move to Tottenham? Because apparently his future is looking very slim as well because of their latest form. But to be fair, if Man City were to sack Pep, I don't know what they're doing, because he's brought them a treble last year, 2 Premier League trophies on the bounce. You know, if I was a club, I wouldn't sack him. Even if he's having a poor season so far, I'd wait to see what the season brings us, and if it brings them, and if it's a complete shock for the season and they lose top 4, then I'd sack him, yeah, because that's understandable. But You know, I know, like, it is a hard decision for Pochettino since it would be hard to get top 4 at the moment. But to be fair, there is one team that would love this news, and it's not Arsenal. I know Arsenal would, but that would be Leicester City, I think, because so far Leicester in really good form. They're currently second in the league, well, level points with Chelsea, and they that if Tottenham don't find a good manager to get them from bringing to 14th right now to top 4, that's a really good chance for or into top 6. That's a really good chance for Leicester to creep into the top 6 or even top 4, get Champions League football again, or even Europa League, because they've ever since they won the league they've been doing very well but not really well. They had that amazing season, then the season after they like slumped down a bit, nearly got relegated but made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which I understand, because if you're a club like Leicester City and you're in the Champions League, you would want to focus on that one competition. Doesn't matter about the league, because been there, done that sort of thing. But yeah, for them to again possibly get into Champions League football again would be very big for them. So this statement here could be very big. But yeah, it's football. Anything can happen. It's one of the most unpredictable sports in the world. But what do you think? That put in the comments below, and I hope you like this video. I hope you like, subscribe, and peace.